Welcome to Bonita's Kitchen and thank you for joining me. What I'm going to be making for you today is coconut pie. This is a baked coconut pie and we're going to be making everything from scratch, from the pastry to the filling, and then we'll whip up the whipped cream. So we don't have any time to waste. What we'll do first is start with our filling, and I'll show you what that is. So what we're going to start with first, and as I go along I'll tell you the ingredients. I'll also post the ingredients in under this video. We're going to be using 1/2 cup of room temperature butter and 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. So I'm going to blend this together first. I'm going to do it with my blender. Normally I'm doing everything by hand, but today I'm going to chance doing it with the blender. But first I'll mix it a little bit so it don't fly up in my face, just until we start to cream it. Okay, so we got that blended together. What we're going to do now is put in 3 eggs into our mixture. Okay, so I got 1 egg in there already, and I'm going to put 3 of them in all together, like that. I'm going to start the blender again. We're going to be putting in a teaspoonful of vanilla and 2 heaping tablespoonfuls, like this, of flour. We're also going to be putting in there a pinch of salt. Let's blend this a little bit together now. And next what we'll be doing is adding in 1 cup of evaporated milk, and you can do that all at once. So this is coming along nice. We don't need our blender now. We're going to be putting in 1 1/4 cups of unsweetened coconut, and you're just going to fold this into your batter, and that's all we need to do with that. Okay, so that's all you need to do with making your coconut filling. So we're going to put this to the side, and I'm going to reach for another bowl, and we're going to be making our pastry. And this is an important step. We need cold butter and ice cold water. So I'll show you what that's all about. Okay, so what we're going to be using is 2 1/2 cups of flour. I'll just put that right on in. Now if you want to do this in your food processor, you can do that as well. We're going to be using cold butter, very important step, and it's going to be 1/2 cup. 1/2 teaspoonful of salt, sea salt. So first I'm going to pinch the butter into the flour. Again, if you are using a food processor, you just start blending it together, but I'm going to show you how to do it the old-fashioned way first. We're going to be mixing in 1 cup of icy cold water. So if you want to put the water on ice first and strain it off, that's fine. And you just slowly blend it in. So you're going to gradually mix it in like this. Now you'll probably find it a lot easier again working with a food processor, because you won't have a lot of mess. But to me that don't mean anything, because I love working with dough. So just mix it around until it all blends in together. Okay, so as you can see, it's shaping up nice. This only takes a few minutes to do. After you got it shaped into a ball, you can feel that it's still nice and cold. What we're going to do now is put it out on my board and roll it. Okay, so this pastry that we're making here today is almost enough to make 2 pies. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it in half. I'm only going to be using 1/2 of it, and then I'm going to show you what you can do with the other 1/2 of the pastry if you're not making 2 pies. So you're just going to put your dough out onto a piece of parchment paper or the countertop and just flatten it a little bit with your fingers first. Sprinkle a little bit of flour over the top of your pastry. Use a one of those rings, or you could, the rolling pin, or you could use a wine bottle, whatever you got on the hand, to roll out your pastry. So you just keep going like this until you get it to fit your pan. Okay, so this looks like it's enough. And you need a pie pan and lightly greased. You could put butter on it or just a little bit of spray. Take your dough and bring it up over your pie shell, or up over your pie pan, I'm sorry, like this. So what we're going to do next, we're going to pinch off the extra dough. So you're pretty much going to pinch your fingers together like this. Keep going right around your pie, taking off the extra dough at the end. Just keep going around like this. Okay, so cutting away any extra on the end, like I was saying previously, just putting it to the side, pinching on the edges. Then with a fork, just make a few holes in the bottom of your pan, like that. So we got our pie crust ready to go. Now this is the extra piece that I was telling you about. So after you had rolled it out, keep it on the parchment paper. If you're not going to use it, then cover it with a little bit of saran wrap. And then what we're going to do, we're going to roll it up, and then you can freeze it for another time. So pretty much keep going like this, and then fold it over onto the ends, and it'll look something like this when you're done with it. And wrap it again in saran, and this will be for another pie down the way. So what we'll do next is add our filling into our pie crust. Alright, so now we're going to be putting in our filling right into the baked pie filling, or the pie pastry. I know I'm probably getting a few people out there that's panicking right now saying, what is she doing? But that is totally okay, because this is going to go into the oven and it's going to bake for 45 to 50 minutes on a 350 degree heat. And then you'll see it a nice golden brown on the top, and you can poke it and it won't show any coconut or any of the filling inside. So I'm going to get my oven on preheated, and this is going to go into the oven, like I was saying, 350 degree heat for 45 to 50 minutes, or until it looks something like this one, already baked, ready to go. All we need to do now is make the whipped cream to go over the top of it, and then I'm going to cut off a nice piece. So before we get started on our our whipped cream, I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup of coconut into my little pan here, and let it start to get golden brown, because that's what we're going to have to put over our pie. And I also got my bowl with ice cubes in it to keep it nice and cold, because anytime that you're whipping up whipped cream, it's nice to have a cold bowl and your whipped cream nice and cold. So I'm going to be putting in a full tub, 500 mils of whipping cream. I'm going to put in a teaspoonful of vanilla and a quarter of a cup of powdered icing sugar. Now I'm going to start blending on this. Alright, so this is what we're going to have our whipped cream looking like, and our coconut is nice and toasted, and it smells delicious, nice and nutty smell in here. Okay, so let's get whipping this over our pie. Okay, so now we're almost at the final stage of making our coconut cream pie, and I hope that I'm making your mouth water, because mine is. I mean, this is absolutely delicious, and it smells so nice in here. So what we're going to do now is scoop up our whipped cream over the top of our pie. pretty much now all I'm doing is just spreading this whipped cream over the top of the pie. Now you could use any kind of whipped cream. You could use neutral whip, Cool Whip, whatever you want to use for your pie. And I'm not going to overdo it with it. I'm just going to put a little bit. Then I'm going to garnish it with the toasted coconut that I done and a couple of little fancy little round dollops that I took from my dough. And this is what it looks like. So now that I've made you hungry for this pie, I'm going to cut off a nice piece now so you see what it looked like inside. And then I hope I've convinced you to make this pie. Okay, so let's take out this delicious piece. This is what it looks like. And I'm going to top it with another little bit of toasted coconut, because I'm telling you, when you've had toasted coconut, there is no other way to eat it. So this is what your coconut cream pie would look like. Absolutely delicious. So this is how quick and easy it is to make this pie. So to have more recipes like this one, you can visit me on Bonita's Kitchen, which on YouTube you could subscribe. Up at the top right hand corner, just hit the link, and each time we post a video, it'll send you a notification letting you know it's there. You can also visit me on my website, www.bonitaskitchen.com, and as well on my Facebook page. So thank you for joining me once again for Bonita's Kitchen. From my kitchen to yours, you have a wonderful day.